Oh heavens, well we've just started work. We have a great transition team and they've been hard at it over the weekend. Those are certainly questions that we're discussing, but we've not made final decisions as of yet. I'm hopeful that the swearing in would happen very quickly, potentially next Monday, but those decisions haven't been finalized yet. In terms of the by-election, there's still work to be done about the transition that has priority over that question right now.
Can you tell us about the meeting you had yesterday with Thomas Lukaszuk and Rick McIver?
Well, certainly they were very positive meetings. As you've heard me say, there's nothing about leadership campaigns that are easy. They're difficult, and so we sat down and had a good, frank discussion. But these are two people that I respect enormously, who've contributed incredibly to our party over the course of a long summer. Campaigns are never tea parties. But, after we had a good discussion, I know that they share the same commitment I have, which is to give Albertans good government and make sure that we keep a party strong that's able to do that.
Mr. Prentice, you said there are other priorities for your transition.
Oh, well, transition, as the Premier knows, transition is a big job. We have a really, really strong group of people headed by Tim Hearn. They've been hard at work over the course of a number of days. They're doing excellent work, but the whole process of the selection of a cabinet, the organization of what happens next is, involves a pretty heavy bunch of lifting. And so they're good people. They're doing a great job. I tell you, I'm really, really impressed. They're all doing this as volunteers, in a spirit of public service to Albertans, and people will see the benefits of that work over the course of the next 10 years.
Sir, on the issue of a cabinet, when will you be naming a cabinet?
Well, that would happen the same day as the swearing in, Graham.
Are you giving any thought to naming people who are not elected to cabinet?
I'm giving full consideration to all of the alternatives in terms of having a cabinet that can deliver on the priorities that I spoke about during the course of the campaign.
So you are thinking of naming people who are not elected to cabinet?
I'm giving full consideration to what a cabinet would look like and who might be in it, and that will include all of the alternatives.
Can you give us an idea of the size of cabinet?
Well, as I said earlier, the cabinet will be smaller. The cabinet formerly under Premier Redford was in the vicinity of 30 people. You should be thinking of a cabinet that's closer to 20.
Does that involve a reorganization of government departments, though?
Well, I did not hear from Albertans over the course of the summer that they wanted to see major reorganizations of their government. What I heard them say was they wanted to focus on very clear priorities. You know what they are. I won't repeat them here this morning. It's early. But that's what they want, and they will. That's what Albertans will see.
Are you considering running more than one by-election, say parachuting in some candidates? Will we see MLAs resigning in the next week?
Well, as I said earlier, there have been no decisions made on by-elections.
Mr. Prentice, do you intend to
term limits, or is that idea term limits as legislation, or is that still going to be just something that goes through party policy?
Well, not everyone in this room agreed with me on term limits, but this is something that we'll discuss. We'll discuss within the party. As I've said earlier, view this as something of an operative philosophy in terms of renewal and reinvigoration of government, getting new people involved, bringing younger people in, new ideas. That's how I look at government. That's what I think this government needs, and view it as the philosophy that I bring to public service.
Setting aside the issue of by-elections, are you in talks with MLAs to see some MLAs resign?
Well, I'm not asking MLAs to resign. My point is, as has been throughout, that before there are any final decisions made on cabinet, there will be meetings with every single MLA. There will be a face-to-face discussion with every single person who is in the caucus.
Do you intend to have a new throne speech for the fall sitting of the legislature?
That's certainly an option that's under consideration.
And how would that affect the scheduling of the whole timetable that you're on in relation to by-elections, legislative sitting, things like that?
Well, again, that remains to be determined, but a new throne speech would certainly have implications.
Speaking with elections, Alberta, yesterday they said that you would have to call the by-elections by the middle of this week in order to be sitting in the legislature with no recounts or anything by the 27th. How are you dealing with those deadlines?
Well, I'm aware of the deadlines, and as I just said in response to the previous question, we're looking at all of the alternatives. A throne speech certainly is one of them. That will have implications in terms of when the Legislative Assembly would start. would not have implications in terms of the number of sitting days.
What are some of
Appointing
the,
Stephen Mandel to the cabinet, is that under?
Sorry, I missed the first part of the question.
Appointing Stephen Mandel to cabinet, is that under consideration?
Well, Mr. Mandel is part of the transition team and is working hard and is doing a great job. You've heard my comments before that no Albertan could reasonably ask Stephen Mandel to give more of his life to public service than he already has. But you know how highly I think of him and would love to have him on our team.
Mr. Prentice, what do you want to tackle when everything is settled down, I guess, when you have your cabinet and legislature resume? What's a priority for you?
Well, the priority really is to address all of the things that I heard over the course of the summer. You know, this summer was, as I said in my speech a couple of evenings ago, I mean, it was a wonderful summer for me. I was able to get around the province and talk to people. I was changed by the experience, and I know what Albertans want. And nobody has spent more time on the ground in this province than I have over the course of the last 100 days. I heard from Albertans everywhere. I know what they're disappointed about. I know what they're excited about. I know their sense of optimism about the province. And you know, above all else, what you will see from a Jim Prentice government is a focus on the priorities that Albertans have spoken to me about. And you're going to see that from the moment the cabinet is sworn in, and you're going to see that for the 100 days that follow.